It hits me that she's gone. Birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, she's gone.
That's all for this edition of Dateline. We'll see you again next Friday at 9, 8 Central. And of course, I'll see you each weeknight for NBC Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, good night.
Your one news source. This is NewsCenter1.
Good evening, I'm Shad Olson. This is NewsCenter1 at 10. Authorities are investigating the discovery of a body of a 16-year-old boy found after an apparent hit and run in eastern South Dakota about 11 p.m. last night. Deputies finding the teen from Minnehaha County on Interstate 90 just east of the Interstate 29 interchange. Officials saying it appears that the boy had been struck by a semi-trailer that left the scene. Authorities are seeking the public's help in locating the truck, which they believe to be a white semi with a large grill that was traveling west. Witnesses say the truck was seen parked on the side of the road a quarter-mile away from that body. Tragedy hits overnight after a house fire claims the life of an elderly man in Rapid City. The Rapid City Fire Department receiving that call just after 7:30 last night. Units were rushed over to the 1000 block of Farlow in north central Rapid City. Fire crews arriving to find heavy smoke already pouring from that home. Firefighters rescuing a 79-year-old man who was put in a waiting ambulance and transported to Rapid City Regional Hospital.
He was transported for burns and smoke inhalation, so he was still alive at the time of transport. Our fire and life safety specialist informed us that people aged 65 and older are twice as likely to die in home fires statistically, just because sometimes they have hearing difficulties, sometimes they need a little extra time getting outside of buildings.
The man later died at the hospital. Multiple agencies are investigating the cause of that fire, but initial reports seem to suggest that the home was not equipped with smoke detectors or a sprinkler system. As is typical, tragedy always sparks conversation and raises our awareness about safety. Fire Prevention Week begins this Sunday, and this year South Dakota's fire marshal is using the week to remind citizens that location matters when it comes to smoke alarms. Fire Marshal Paul Merriman says that firefighters statewide will be taking time to remind people of the need to have working smoke alarms in every bedroom, outside each sleeping area, and on every level of the home, including the basement. National statistics show that 3 out of every 5 fire deaths result from fires in homes with no smoke alarms. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit firepreventionweek.org. The town of Roseburg, Oregon is still in a state of shock after yesterday's mass shooting at a community college there. 9 dead and several injured after a gunman opened fire at Umpqua Community College. Tonight, flags flying at half-staff for the latest mass shooting to strike the nation.
Confirmed report that he's got a long gun.
The first calls for help came at 10:38 a.m.
These dispatch as many ambulances as possible.
What followed on the Umpqua Community College campus was 9 minutes of terror.
I'm very lucky. There's some people that didn't make it out of there.
17-year-old Sarah Cobb huddled in a neighboring classroom next to Professor Larry Levine's writing class when 26-year-old Chris Harper Mercer began shooting students and staff.
I was terrified, absolutely terrified. I didn't know if I was going to be alive. I didn't know if I was going to get shot.
Armed with 6 guns, including a rifle, Harper Mercer had body armor and extra ammunition.
We may never completely determine what the motive was, but we are certainly going to look everywhere.
One witness says the shooter was calm, asking some students what their religion was before he opened fire.
It was just multiple gunshots, and like everybody was screaming, like, get underneath the table, do this, do that. One guy ran out the classroom, I believe he got shot.
It was chaos while students scrambled for their lives. 2 officers engaged Harper Mercer, who was killed in the gunfire. As police secured the campus, students were checked for weapons and bused to the safety of the fairgrounds, where parents were waiting for word. Was their child alive? The college president said no one could have anticipated this.
It's like carnage in Eden.
Lucero Alcarez of Roseburg.
Tonight, the names of the dead were released. 9 innocent victims. Jason Johnson was 34. It was his 4th day at school.
I wish that I would have said, don't go, if I knew what I know now.
At a vigil, hundreds mourn the dead.
He was there for me when I really, really needed him. He was there when I was sad.
9 others were wounded. Among the hurt, Chris Mintz is being called a hero.
He was trying to block the shooter from coming in.
An Army veteran, a young father who is said to have rushed the gunman and may have saved lives.
And the victims still hospitalized tonight are seriously injured, but they are all expected to survive and recover. School shootings are topping the headlines this week. A day before the Oregon shootings, a school principal shot by a student right here in Harrisburg, South Dakota. Many people left wondering how to combat all the violence, and the answer is not simple. President Obama once again taking opportunity to politicize the tragedy, going on record saying that we need tougher gun buying restrictions. Despite visiting at least 7 mass shooting sites from Sandy Hook to Charleston, the president has not gotten tougher gun laws passed. Some activists blame gun lobby pressure and members of Congress as well. Gun rights groups pointing out that every one of those shootings took place in a gun-free zone, places where unarmed victims are at the mercy of armed and dangerous gunmen.
Somehow this has become routine. The reporting is routine. My response here at this podium ends up being routine. The conversation in the aftermath of it, we've become numb to this. We are not the only country on earth that has people with mental illnesses or want to do harm to other people. We are the only advanced country on earth that sees these kinds of mass shootings every few months.
Last night, members of the Harrisburg community coming together in prayer as they deal with emotions stemming from this week's school shooting. Julie Parker, volunteer chapter leader of the South Dakota chapter of Moms Demand Action, says that the shooting here in South Dakota should be a wake-up call for everyone to take protecting kids seriously. The investigation into a murder-suicide in Platte turning up more questions tonight. On September 17th, Scott Westerhouse shooting his wife and 4 children, then setting the family home ablaze before shooting himself. Authorities believe this happened hours after the state declined to renew a contract for managing a college readiness program with his employer, Mid-Central Educational Cooperative. The big news today, Board of Education member Stacy Phelps, involved in administering the Gear Up program, resigning. That comes after what South Dakota Governor Dennis Dugard calls many questions surrounding the program's administration. Stacy Phelps and Westerhouse were involved together in at least one nonprofit that received Gear Up funds from that cooperative. And here's a look at today's markets on Wall Street. And on this Friday, we end the week of trade on a very strong up note. The major indexes all in the positive. Dow Jones Industrials rising 200 points, 16,472. NASDAQ Composite up 81 to 4708. The S&P rising 28 to 1951. And gold rising $23.90 on a weakening dollar to $1,137.60 on this day of trade. Ahead of next week's memorial and funeral service for former South Dakota Governor Walter Dale Miller, Governor Dennis Dugard sharing his thoughts on the passing of a great man. Dugard expressing his admiration for a man that helped bring South Dakota through some very difficult times, like the flooding of 1993, a penitentiary riot that was ended without shedding of blood, and a court ruling that suspended video lottery, which required Governor Miller to impose deep mid-year cuts in order to keep the state financially solvent.
When Walt ran for his own term in 1994, his campaign slogan was, "Cool in a crisis." It was the perfect slogan to describe a man who was perfectly suited to lead South Dakota during a very difficult time.
Former Governor Miller's funeral service has been set for Wednesday. That's this coming Wednesday at the Calvary Lutheran Church on Sheridan Lake Road here in Rapid City. Well, following up on one case, authorities discover evidence for a different case, leading to a search and rescue effort tonight. Crews searching for the owner of a missing canoe in Rapid Creek around the Falling Rock area. Captain Jay Evenson with the Pennington County Sheriff's Office says that there are currently no reports of a missing person, but search efforts were initiated about 5 o'clock to look for anyone left stranded. Search efforts called off after dark tonight, and they will not resume unless someone is reported missing. So a busy night for those people out there. Treacherous terrain as well, especially in the nighttime hours, so hope that everybody is able to stay safe there. Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Bob Regan, you told us going to be rainy and cool. It certainly was.
A lot of wet football players out there, a lot of wet families watching those football players out there. Yeah, all across the Black Hills. We got widespread rains. And let me show you on the radar. You can see what I'm talking about. There it is. You can see all of West River pretty much received a little bit of rain. Some received more than others. And this is what we expect throughout the evening tonight, this widespread rain. Tomorrow, scattered showers in the forecast throughout the day, cool temperatures, and then on Sunday, I think we'll kill the rain a little bit, turn the rain off a little bit, but we're going to keep the clouds and those cool temperatures on Sunday. So the weekend, not very nice if you have any outdoor plans.
All right, we'll get more details coming up with Bob Riggio and his full forecast in just a bit. We are back with more news after the break, right here on NewsCenter1 at 10.
Is NewsCenter1 with Shad Olson. Sports with Justin Wickersham. And weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Riggio.
Want a smart way to dress up a room with a smarter buy?
Flooring America has the region's largest selection of area rugs. From room size to throw rugs, you'll find that designer touch needed to add style, warmth, and comfort to your room. Name brand, top-of-the-line products straight from the manufacturer to save you money. Buy now and get a 3-piece package for as low as $199. Lots of rugs are half off. Visit Flooring America today to shop smart and buy smarter.
The Honda For You sales event is happening now, and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Honda Civic. Our best Civic yet was named a KBB.com Best Buy and is the best-selling car in its class. The Civic is also loaded with standard features. So hurry into your Honda dealer today and you could get a great deal on a 2015 Civic during the Honda For You sales event.
Synchrony Financial. Engage with a call center team that makes customers smile. Engage with a job where great benefits are only one of the benefits. Engage with us. We're now hiring for call center positions in Rapid City. Learn more and apply at synchronycareers.com. That's SYNCHRONY careers.com. Or text SYF12 to 90206. Again, text SYF12 to 90206. Engage with us.
You've got priorities, things that need to be taken care of, and things to pay attention to. It's not easy, but you're making it work. At First Interstate Bank, we know the drill. And just as others are relying on you, you can rely on us to help keep you doing what you do best. Your world's a busy one, full of all kinds of financial choices. You've got people depending on you to make those decisions, and then make breakfast. Financial success on the go? It's bigger than banking. It's you and I together.
So we've had a Tempur-Pedic for a while, but now that we have the adjustable base, it's even better.
I'm gonna go up.
Discover how Tempur-Pedic can move you.
Through Monday, it's the grand opening at Simply Sleep Better. Get a free 7-night vacation for 2 at your choice of locations in the United States or the world with a minimum purchase, or a $300 gift with purchase of a Tempur-Pedic set. Plus, get 4 years, no interest. Better prices, better advice. Simply Sleep Better. Now at 2 locations by Rushmore Crossing and on Mount Rushmore Road, Rapid City.
Yesterday was cause for celebration at Ellsworth Air Force Base as they officially become part of the Air Force Global Strike Command. That realigns all of the bomber fleets under a single command. U.S. Senator John Thune has been instrumental in expressing just how important Ellsworth has been to South Dakota and to the nation's national defense. Thune saying today that the B-1B is known as the workhorse of the Air Force and that it remains a legacy mission for the Air Force at Ellsworth. He commends the recent expansion of the Powder River Training Complex and says that the future for Ellsworth looks bright and solid. The contract for a new bomber known as the Long Range Strike Bomber should be announced by year's end, with the new aircraft coming online in the mid-2020s. Thune says that when that happens, Ellsworth's new command structure can smoothly receive those new bombers once they come online. It is another surefire way to tell that fall has arrived in full. Hunting season quickly approaching, but some proposed changes to the lion hunting season in South Dakota, well, they're drawing some criticism. The Game Fish and Parks Commission plan would allow non-residents to go after lions for the same fee as a non-resident pheasant license. The South Dakota Wildlife Federation and Prairie Hills Audubon Society are opposed to allowing non-residents to hunt lions in the state, where the lion population has already declined. Wildlife officials are also proposing fewer prairie turkey licenses for the 2016 season. The Custer State Park turkey season also would see a decrease in the number of licenses that are issued. In other outdoor-related news, the South Dakota Game Fish and Parks Department is reopening the Whitlock Bay Salmon Spawning Station. That's near Lake Oahe outside of Pierre. The spawning station still rebuilding after sustaining damage from floodwaters in 2011. Fisheries biologist Robert Hanton says its survival numbers for juvenile salmon stocked since the flood are low, due in part to high predator numbers and low food availability.